I'm going to call this meeting to order, and I'd like to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance with the flag thing over here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The only thing I have to announce tonight, other than the obvious, and I imagine the general manager is going to mention that about the.
Is that on?
Oh, that was on. The only thing I'm going to mention tonight, other than the construction, which I'm sure the general manager will touch on, I think everybody has hopefully seen the email about the amenities analysis. As I think most of you know, we had an outside firm by the name of McGladrey conducting an amenities analysis over the last several months, and we've set up a series of meetings. They're going to present their formal report next Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock. It'll be in the PAC room. We'll have seating anticipating a fairly large turnout, I would assume. We're also going to have in the afternoon a Q&A session for the residents. The residents will not the morning session will be questions and comments by the board, and in the afternoon, residents can ask questions. We will have a sign-up sheet, probably outside, somewhere outside or in the room somewhere, and people can start signing up at 1:30 if they want to. The session will be limited from 2 to 4 p.m. Because the consultants have to leave. So we'll just go through as many questions as we can. And I don't know how many people will have questions that they want to ask the consultants, but we'll also be making copies of the report available after the presentation in the morning. They'll be free of charge, so anybody that wants to get it and study it a little bit more during that break between the 10 a.m. session and the 2 p.m. session will be able to do so. There'll be another workshop on the 30th of September, which will be having resident input to the board, and that will be followed by that'll be kind of a two-part session. Then that will be followed that same day by some brief discussion by the board. It'll be more or less pretty much a procedural type discussion. And then on the 6th of October, we're going to have a board meeting, a special board meeting, as which we will be conducting both the further discussion as well as making decisions as appropriate about that particular study. So a lot going on in a fairly short period of time. So you might want, I would especially encourage people to come to the session on the 22nd, and then come in the afternoon if you've got questions or want further clarification on any of the points in their draft or in their report. It's no longer a draft report at that point. But we invite you to come. So that's all I have. Bill?
Just a brief update on the construction. I think you've seen, or if you didn't go by the restaurant, the carpet's down. It's going to be down tonight. The furniture's coming tomorrow afternoon, and Friday we'll have all of the chairs, tables, and everything in there. Kimberly's coming from Smart Interiors tomorrow and Friday. All the artwork will be up on the walls. The restaurant will be completely done with the exception of the bar. The bar will be installed next Monday, possibly Tuesday. We're shooting for Monday. They'll be measuring for the granite countertop on Tuesday. It will go out to be made. They have to wait to let the bar settle before they can make the top. We're anticipating approximately a week later for the granite top to come. The bar may not be open on the 1st of October. It may be a week late based on that granite top. But it will be all painted and the flooring will be in. It's just it won't be functional. If that's the case, we're not going to close up the old bar. We'll just leave it. We have a buyer for that bar, believe it or not. So once the new bar is opened, we'll probably shut down for a day, like a slower day, like a Tuesday, and close that whole area, because that'll be part of the kitchen expansion, but we're going to use it for storage in the short time. The pool deck, the pavers are done, but they are not sealed. Please don't go out on the pool deck. We're not finished with it, but you can look at it in this evening. If you want to leave and go out this way and look at the pool deck, if it's still, it should be light, hopefully. It's the pavers. The pavers are down. They're going to seal them Friday, and then the pool deck that we're putting up top, it's going to be started on Monday. So that project, we anticipate it being completed by the 28th or 29th, mainly because it's going to take us 4 or 5 days to get the pool filled back up, and then we have to stabilize it. So we are on schedule with that.
Financial report, Kevin.
Yeah, what I'll do is give you year-to-date numbers through August, and then I'll compare that to budget, and then also compare the year-to-date numbers this year compared to how we did last year. So the bottom line for the operating income for the association, we had, and I'll round these numbers, we had $181,000 of income, and the budget through 8 months projected a loss of 22 grand. So in essence, it means we're $202,000 better than budget on the operating income side. In terms of revenue, our revenue is $47,000 below budget, and we made that up by being $250,000 under budget on expenses. So the net of those two enabled us to get to the $202,000 better than the budget on the operating income side. As it relates to that 181 grand this year versus last year, and you have to understand last year the association had more than $200,000 at the end of the year of income. So through 8 months of this year, the $181,000 is $41,000 better than last year. So we're on a pace to do better than the 200 grand last year that we did. But again, and it seems to be a consistent pattern, we're $104,000 under budget on revenue. And where we're making that up is through being $104,000 under budget on revenue, and where we're making that up is $145,000. Let me back that up. It's $104,000 less revenue this year than last year. I already did the budget. So it's 104 grand less revenue this year than last year, but we made that up because our expenses are $145,000 less this year than last year. And that gets us to the 41 grand better than last year. Okay? Have to understand too that now that we're spending all this money on the construction, there's a separate, to give you a little bit more detail, in each budget, in each financial package, if anyone wants to take a look at it, not only do you have sort of the operating fund, we have a list of all the capital that's spent each year and each month, as well as all of the money spent through the reserve fund. Okay? Starting this month, there's another new schedule, which is the sort of what we classify as the unusual or one-time type of capital expenditures, and that's for the construction. And through August, we've spent $56,000 on that. Okay? So in order to keep, when we talk about comparing this to budget, comparing to previous year, we try and keep the operating results, which I just explained to you, sort of separate and apart from that capital spending. Okay? It's not that we're not tracking it, but we're not going to compare that because that's kind of unusual spending that we're doing. All right? But where we track that is from our cash position. And right now we have about $900,000 still in cash for, well, that's actually more than that. Hold on one second. See how much cash we have. And that's the money between the reserve and the capital that we'll be drawing down this year to cover the expenditures on the capital projects. If we can get to that page. Bear with me. Okay, so let me take that back. The total cash we have as of August is a little over $2.4 million. Now that includes the reserve as well, but it's the reserve fund and the cash fund that we're drawing down to pay for all of this capital, the projects and expansion. Okay, that's it, Neil.
Okay. Any questions from the board? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the August 18th, 2010 board meeting.
So moved.
Second. Get that, Kim?
Yes.
Any comments, corrections? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries unanimously. Unfinished business, none. Under new business, we'll do it this way. I'll read the agenda item, then I'll ask Bill to explain it, then I will ask for a motion to approve it.
I want to group the first three. It's one explanation.
Okay.
Okay, can I focus now?